I'm going to try a couple of techniques. I'm going to use the Life is Beautiful stamp set, and I want to check myself out first here on okay, so here we go. We're here, and there I am. Okay, Life is Beautiful stamp set in the mini catalog, 2020
And there I am.
mini catalog.
Okay, Life is Beautiful stamp set in the mini catalog, 2020.
Okay, sorry about that, but I would have been echoing. My iPad sound was on. So, Life is Beautiful, and it's a photopolymer stamp set. I'm going to use several stamps from the set. First, I'm going to use my Stamparatus to stamp the tree. I need to clean it because really quick, I tried to do it, I started live a couple of minutes ago, and my Stamparatus flipped. I don't know what I did, but I was using too much pressure or something, and it had a little boo-boo mistake. So now, let's try again. And let's put this, probably should be really careful with pulling this tree off of surfaces, because it's the photopolymer's kind of stretchy, and it's a big stamp, so it has a lot of give. Now, let's try again. I am going to stamp this in soft suede. See, that's just part that just bugs me. Keeping my paper good. Okay, let's do this. I'm using the Stamparatus on the right side, and I'm left-handed, so see how that goes. Already see I got ink all around. Okay, let's put the little guy down here and press. I get a nice impression, and that's not happening. So does anyone think it's because I have my magnets too wrapped that I can't get my plate to go down enough? I think I'm going to take all of this washi tape off my magnets, because I think that they prevent, they prevent my plate from making good contact with the cardstock. Okay, so I have a lot of layers of washi tape on these magnets, and I think it's not necessary. So let's clean this off a little bit, and I'll put it away for now. Clean up after I'm done. Okay, so that's the tree. We have that done. And messy stuff here. Okay. So on the fly, I saw a dot-to-dot coloring technique, and I saw a thumping technique. And I've seen the thumping before, but never, that's not very good right there. But we're going to cover that, that little bit of that tree there. So let's just go ahead and do that now. I'm going to take Old Olive and give us some little bit of green, the last green, let's say the last green that's left. in the from the autumn, summertime. I'm going to say that's good enough. Okay, I'll let that be good enough. Now, I will go ahead and put the leaves on, and I'm going to stamp them in, let's see, cinnamon cider, maybe cinnamon cider. I stamped this, this is a card that I did similar, and I stamped this tree trunk in cinnamon cider, but I kind of felt like maybe soft suede gave a little different distinction to it. This just gave all like a monochromatic, similar, all same colors when I did this one. So the leaves, the autumn leaves, I'm going to, I need to clean these stamps off because I tried a test run that failed. And I'm gonna use my Stampin' Scrub, and one side of it is for wet and one side is sunshine for dry. I'm gonna do this and clean off my stamps a little bit before I start. I like the Stampin' Scrub. It just kind of makes it easier for me to keep everything all in one place. I've used every single thing there is. I have baby wipes. I have the chamois. I had chamois from the Auto Body Shop. I've done everything, and this works. Just keeps it all in one place with a squirt of the Stampin' Mist. Okay, so now I think I will take this, the leaves, and do them in cinnamon cider, the leaves, Bumblebee. I'll use Bumblebee ink on the leaves, and these are like maybe maple leaves, who knows, I don't know. Now before I stamp with the Bumblebee, I want to use a thumping technique. And in the thumping technique, I'm going to use a Stampin' Right marker, Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to use the brush side and thump. Just thump a few places. You could use a lot of colors with this. I'm going to thump with the Cherry Cobbler. And then I'm also, I think, throw in a tad bit of Old Olive, which I didn't bring that one out, but I think that, let's say the leaves are, they've turned, but there's still like a little something left in them with color, because it's the beginning. And it's been a big wind, and they're all still in the tree, but they're getting ready to fall. Okay, so I thumped with Old Olives. Let's see how that works. And this is photopolymer, and I'm not sure about the placement of these leaves. Can you see that look? Okay, so we have a little variegation there of the different colors that I thumped in. So we're gonna go at it again, stamp it off so I get all that other ink off. Bumblebee, thump with Cherry Cobbler. You can do several colors. You could do a lot of thumping, I suppose. I don't want to make it too gaudy. I just want to give it a little so a little distinction. Let's do okay, so leaves are falling, and I'm going to do one more. So we go bumblebee, cherry cobbler, thump, 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 thump with the old olive. Okay. Let's see. Let's tilt it a little and go that way in the center. I think maybe there's no right or wrong with the leaves. I'm not sure. But now I'm going to do another, I'm going to do the birdhouse. Let's see. First, let's do the sentiment I chose is thinking of you, and I'm going to do that in Cajun Craze. I'm kind of trying to bring in all autumn type colors, and I think this is a good spot to put it. I don't put my head in the way. There we go. Okay, that's Cajun Craze, thinking of you. And then the birdhouse. And this is the little birdhouse. I'm going to take the birdhouse and I'm going to color it with the Stampin' Right markers. I'm going to color the hanger with Early Espresso. And that's the little hanger. For our birdhouse, it's a heavy duty galvanized like wire. The birdhouse, I'm gonna color in real red, and it has a roof on it, so my thoughts are to go ahead and stamp it in the real red, and after it gets on the cardstock, I think I can fill it in with cherry cobbler to edge the roof. That's my plan. And for the little leaves on each side, I'm going to do pumpkin pie. Now when you get these done, and remember your markers have to be, they can't be dry. They have to be good and wet, and they are for sale in the annual catalog, the Stampin' Right markers. There's sets of colors. So now I'm going to huff on this because it's another one of those to keep this wet. And I'm going to put the birdhouse. And my problem is there's a reflection and my eyes don't see well. So let's see if we can get him all the way up here and get him all the way stamped. Not bad. It's doable. Let's see, it was real red. So I'm going to color him out a little bit here. Real red. Then I'm going to take the cherry cobbler, oops, and edge this roof. It's a little different. It's a different color, just enough that we have a roof. You have to be really careful. I might have overdone it. So there we go. Okay, now the next thing I want to do, you saw the thumping. The next thing I want to do is I want to do some dot to dot. And I not with the Stampin' Right markers, with the blender pens. So I'm going to put my Stampin' Right markers over out of the way, and I'm going to show you, I have a ton of blender pens. So what I brought out in my blender pens were just all fall and autumn. That's what I felt like. I felt like they were just, you know, totally fall and autumn. Mossy Meadow, light and dark. Old Olive, light and dark. Now, but I'm going to try and stay with my dot-to-dot coloring in areas where the colors are already on the paper to some degree. I'm going to try to coordinate. And I don't know if I'm doing this right. There was a Jennifer McGuire has a YouTube where she does that. This is pumpkin pie. So I'm going to start, I think, with dark pumpkin pie. And then all of these are the yellows. Mango Melody, Daffodil Delight. This is Calypso Coral, Cinnamon Cider, and that's about it. So in this it's to do like some shading. So I'm going to start with this dark pumpkin pie. And you just want to put some dots here, there, everywhere. I do that occasionally. And then I just kind of carry it out a little bit. I'm going to. I've not done this, so this is totally on the fly. So I have no idea what this is going to look like. This is light pumpkin pie, so I'm not going to use it yet. I want to continue with maybe these type colors, so let's do, I probably am going to do it in the dark colors. This is dark Cinnamon Cider. And you just lightly dot. But I'm not going to take my Cinnamon Cider down here. I did a couple, but that's not my point. I'm going to intensify the color in a certain area is what my plan is. This is Dark Cajun Craze. So let's see how that looks. And you need to be a little careful with your pen and don't let it slide and make a big mark. It's okay. What would be, and that was, what did I say? That was Cajun Craze. This is like Cajun Craze. I'm going to try to keep them separated. This is Dark Calypso Coral. Which gives us more of a okay. So that's dark. So now I think I'll start with my dark Mango Melody and go on this side in a few areas. You can make a trail. This is, gosh, people, this is fly by night. I have probably no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to keep that on this area because it's closer to, and then, because it's on the other side of the paper. And this is Dark Daffodil Delight, which may not give us, well, no, I guess it does have some color. Light Daffodil Delight this is not very distinct here. But what my plan is here is to bring in some greens on this side. This is Light Mango Melody, and I'll keep it this way, and Light Daffodil Delight. So now what I have here are my greens, and I think I'll bring in maybe Granny Apple, because that just gives me a little more green. So we're going to pull the dark, and since I have the Granny Apple, I'm going to pull it. And you just kind of dot easily, little dots. Now I suppose you could, okay, that's that. Now Mossy Meadow. I believe this is mossy. Yeah, dark mossy meadow. That will give a little intense green in there. And again, don't hold that pen, dot it, tap, 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 tap. Try not to jiggle it or move it, because it's gonna make a mark that's different on your paper. And go, and maybe try to do in between spaces and not hit on top of another spot. Okay. So this is Mossy Meadow Light. This is Dark Old Navy and Light Old Navy. So here we go. This will be, I think, all of our greens. Maybe we could do a couple of Old Navy, I'm sorry, Old Olive over here. Okay. Let's extend it a tiny bit. Just not too much. It's blending with the grass. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to do is give a little blue to the sky, and I have Balmy Blue, and I have a punch that's not a Stampin' Up punch. Stampin' Up, I think, might have had one. It's a deep scallop piece, and I punched that out, and I'm taking my my Balmy Blue and a sponge dauber, and I want to give a little cloud effect. So we'll put the sponge dauber here. See if you can see this. Hold both pieces of paper nicely though, because otherwise it's gonna look odd. And I just give a little blue sky here. And I'm not trying not to rub too hard, just get a little tinting. And when you do this, you have like a little cloud look. So then if I move it over here to this side and do the same thing, and try not to overlap over here on this side where you have white, basically. But give us a little, and you can use this to rub off some of your ink so you don't have it too dark on the paper. And here, since I've done that, I can kind of just bring in a little bit. Background. So there we go. Okay, that's that. That I think is what I've got done. Now I want to keep these all separate because I'm going to write out my lesson plan here. Now, we'll move all of these stamps out of the way for now. And let's decide what color. So I did this, I did the sentiment in Cajun Craze. So I think I will use Cajun Craze for my background. And I'm going to, my little daubers. Oh, sometimes they move that out of the way. I'm drinking cucumber water because I'm a very thirsty person lately. I'm hoping when I have my blood work done, I don't find I've got something. They say diabetes causes thirst. I think it's just because it's hot here. So, the Plaid Tidings designer series paper is in the mini catalog, the mini 2020 catalog, 6x6, and it's like really, really some pretty colors. Just all kinds of colors, and so much I love. And I love Christmas, and I love the reds and greens. And here's some masculine look with the grays, and here's some I call Irish Celtic look as far as these color plaids. So I think I would like to use a plaid. Let's see, not that, but this maybe has a little more. Maybe too autumny, I don't know. Or maybe this. Like I said, it's on. I think I like that better. Okay. So let me get my Cajun Craze. I'm pretty sure that that paper will go. And you know, I think instead of Cajun Craze, I think what I'm going to do is do Whisper White base, a Cajun Craze matte, and this. And I think I'm going to cut this down a little bit. So let's see how that works. It can either be bad or good, or indifferent. Let's see. Just have to get the right size. That's not it. Whisper White Heavy is what I'm going to use. And so right now I'm going to trim this down because I want this to be, and I don't want to take much off. So I want to bring this, it's 4 now. So I'm going to bring 1/8 of an inch on each side, I think, all the way around. So that makes it 3 3/4 wide, and it will wind up being 5 inches. So if we bring this down, so it was 5 1/4, we're bringing it down 1/8 and 1/8 on the top. But I kind of want to bring it down. I think I'm just going to bring it down. If I bring it 1/4 on the bottom, that's going to take everything. So I'm going to bring it an 1/8 on the bottom, and it won't take too much of my green off. And I didn't want to mess this guy up either, so we'll take an 1/8 off the top, and I think that will be okay. So there we have, that's what we have there. So that gives us, yeah, I think that's good. So this will be our mat, our first mat. So it's going to be, four and 1/8 by 5 and 1/8. No, let's see. Let's see. Let's get our card base first. This comes down to, so 1/8 and 1/8. Thinking. I want this to be, this is 4 1/4 wide. So I want this to be 4 and 1/8. Yes, 4 and 1/8 wide by, it's 5 1/2 tall, so 5 3/8 tall. Okay, and then our plaid piece, we're gonna make that 4. Maybe not. Let's see. What did I do this? I did this at. This needs to be 5. Needs to be 4 and 7/8. So let's take another 1/8 off of here. I think I'm doing that right. Okay, cutting it up a whole lot. All right. So we're gonna have an 1/8 border here. And 4 inches here. By, let's see, 4 by 4 by, let's see what we have here. 5. No. Say, oh my goodness, people. I don't know what I'm doing. Or, okay, this is correct. It's just going to be really small border. We're going to go here. What is that? 5. Let's do it by 5. Okay. On the fly is not good for me. You guys got to, oh, that was bad. That was wrong. Really wrong. Very wrong, people. Yes. So if I have made my focal piece 3 and 3/4 by 4 7/8. I need my plaid piece to be, and let's hope I have another one of those. I do. My plaid piece my first mat is 4 by, or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this is, okay, so this needs to be 5 by 3 7/8 is what I think I will do that. It's off. It's an off measurement. 7/8. It's all wrong. I'm doing it all wrong. And for you folks that are really in the know and see me doing this on the fly, I'm going to continue the video and I'm going to show you this. I keep taking the top of this off. That's what I keep doing. And I don't like that. Because these are not going to be correct measurements. So I will give better measurements when I do this. Yeah. And there's going to be like a 1/4 inch here. And maybe a 1/4 inch here. There won't be either. Let's see. It's really off. Really off. But you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut this right between here, right between this little plaid mark here, and I'm going to do a off-sided, maybe, offside. We could go with that and make this a tad bit smaller so that when I run it diagonally, it'll look okay. So let's first let's adhere our Cajun Craze mat down, and then I'm going to work with this ribbon, I believe. This ribbon is really pretty. It's from the Gilded Autumn Suite, metallic, like a copper ribbon. And I want to use that. So, and I don't advise you doing this on your trimmer, because if you get glue, you have to wind up cleaning your glue off, your adhesive off, and you know, that's not always the best. And for me, this was not quite what I meant to have, so that's all right. That's okay. It's on fly and done and done and done. So I believe I'm going to do this And I'm going to do this. And if I put these two together, can I put ribbon around it? Or is that going to look odd? Odd. Let's see, what is the other options in my ribbons? We do have the embroidered ribbon, but nah, that's not what I would want to do. Let's see. No. I think I'm gonna do a twine and maybe put an acorn on it. So let's see. I have a lot of, so let's do that. A twine. So let's get our trimmer out of the way. I think this will work much better. Alrighty, let's see. So let's adhere this piece down on the diagonal. And I don't know if maybe putting dimensionals on the other piece on the diagonal will give it a better, some more depth, 3D look. So let's do, we can do this, and it's, oops, it's nicely done, I guess. Enough. I really like that copper ribbon, but I think it's not going to be. Wrong side here. Okay. Aesthetically, I'm not so sure I like this. But I think it'll be okay. So I think what we'll go ahead and do with this is adhere it flat with the liquid adhesive, and I'm going to tie an acorn on it. It gives it a little something. And off-sided gives you something else to look at. A little I don't think in the new that there's anything I want to use from here, or for sure not here or here, so and no stars, so we'll just go with the acorn. Trinket. These are really cute. Really, really cute. And they're in the 2020 mini catalog as well. So just tie an acorn on, tie a bow, and this twine works really well. Whoops. Oops, I did it wrong. Okay. I don't know, can you see me? Well, I just shoved that way up there, didn't I? Okay. Now, I'll put a glue dot, I'll roll it over on itself and put a glue dot to kind of keep that, because it's loose behind here a little bit, and I don't want it floating around. And I'm almost out of glue dots. I think there was one left on the maybe. Yeah. I mean, I have glue dots. I just have to pull new glue dots, pull another package out. But if we roll this and place it under here, I think it's probably the best. And it will, it will just anchor it a little bit. I don't know if we should anchor. No, I wouldn't anchor the acorn, because then it's not. Okay, so we have now that we have done. Let's kind of cinch it a little bit. And do a trim. Okay, what do you think? What do you think about that? I think it's okay. I'll probably finish off on the inside and do a layer of Whisper White, because this is a little heavier on the front and that'll balance it out. And put a sentiment in it. It says, thinking of you. From this, I maybe find a sentiment that has to do with, since it's fall, let's see, gather together, wishing you well. In the gather together stamp, wishing you well, might not be too bad. And it won't be too far off. Or maybe the gather together. Season of thanks. I'll see. Something. We'll put something on the inside. And we have a card. We have a fall card to send to our friends or family. And right now I have a couple of people that I could send the thinking of you card to. So thank you for watching. That was a long video, and here I am. I'm trying to do this, and if you'll go to lyndellscardescape.stampinu.net, you will find my shopping area for any of the products, and I'm going to try to post this on my blog so that the links to all the products will be on my blog. And if you would go to my blog and subscribe, I would love that. There's no obligations for you to do anything except you would just subscribe, and you get, anytime I post on the blog, you'll get an email of a post. And I haven't started posting a lot, so it's not you're not going to get inundated, and you can unsubscribe anytime you want to. So my blog is lyndellscardescape.blog, and I have Pinterest, and you can find me in a lot of places. I'm trying to get more exposure, and I'd love to have you as a customer. And I know if you're my friend already, you're probably already a demonstrator, and you're maybe already someone else's customer. But if you're not, and you're interested, and you'd like to have an online class, we can talk about that too. So, thank you very much, and have a good rest of your Sunday, and a good week coming. Bye-bye.